It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll see Jordan Love. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Packers and the Dolphins on Thursday night.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine for the postseason, winners of 8. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. Escaping a tackler at the 25 and up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023, now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's coming off a great season where he put up career highs in yards and touchdowns, while also leading one of the most prolific scoring offenses in the NFL. The number one thing he did last season, though, staying healthy. When he's on the field, Miami can roll.
They fake the handoff, now Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. It's caught by OBJ. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Tua sets up to pass it. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So the Packers make their way out for the first time, and it's Jordan Love that has the keys to the car here in his 5th season as a pro and 2nd as a starter.
And Love established himself as a legitimate franchise quarterback a season ago. And let's not forget, he had to exhibit a lot of patience waiting for his opportunity to become the man. And once he got that chance, he hit the ground running. The question now from the rest of the league, can he sustain that success? The Packers certainly believe he will.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 15 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and less than a yard.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jalen Phillips, the former 1st-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, Their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. The visitors' offense, led by their wide receiver, headed out for their second possession. And he's been as productive as anyone in the NFL in the middle part of this season. The NFL's leader in receiving yards to this point, and he doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. They'll send the tight end in motion. Getting this quickly to Berrios. So no gain on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. Breaks through the contact. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a run. Here's the rookie from USC. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. 2nd and 10. Throwing. Love. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Love. This is caught. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Dillon is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looking to pass. Tua. And that's incomplete. You look at this Packers defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. That's to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a really nice job there, stretching zone coverage by running that route deep enough before breaking it back towards the sideline and being open.
And a precise throw for the reception in the first. Now Tua. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devontae Wyatt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright. And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And they will take over first and 10. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. Off the play fake, Love. And that is incomplete. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
You talk about this Miami defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Tua going to throw. Short throw to Smith. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. The Packers ready to take over offensively. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 64 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Got Dobbs over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and a yard.
At the 27-yard line.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Lloyd. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Now Love. Completed out left to Dobbs. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a 1st down. Love now. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
At the 5-yard line.
In motion goes the tight end. Here's Love. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Complete to Luke Musgrave. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll run here with Dillon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A.J. Dillon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Carlson's extra point up and good, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Miami set to take over. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd down and 12. From the gun, it's Tua. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 73 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. There's A.J. Dillon, such a powerful runner, ready to lead this offense again on this next series. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Play fake. Here's Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. Yeah, they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Well, the Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And he's putting together some kind of campaign. Currently 2nd in the NFL in touchdown receptions among wideouts. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith able to get him for a loss of about 3.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll swing this out to Mostert.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Jason Sanders for the Dolphins field goal. A 34-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Back to Dillon on first down. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Love looking to throw it. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Buying time to his left. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. This 2nd and 4. In motion, the tight end. Here's Tua. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First down, Dolphins.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Tua sets up to pass it. Short throw to Smith. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Hill. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he fends him off. And that is incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. A quick throw there is incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw now, here's Love. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 3 brings up second down at the 13-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch is taken here a step or two inside the 45-yard line. The Packers offense and running back A.J. Dillon headed back onto the field. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. And that'll be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
It's a gain of 11. And the Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the
Throwing.
44-yard
Love.
line.
He'll go over the middle to Reed. Complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
That's another Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the
Love.
32-yard line.
He finds his man. Complete. That's Reed. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Complete to Romeo Dobbs. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Packers! Romeo Dobbs, a 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Carlson on for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. That time, a 6-play drive. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Dobbs touchdown. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Open man is Fortson. He's got it. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to have a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Preston Smith able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
The Packers offense and Romeo Doubs getting ready to go back to work. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Throwing to start the drive. Love.
That's taken in by Watson.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They go screen with Dillon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. To pass, here's Jordan Love.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Now Love.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Caught on the right side, Reed. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
Love now. And he's got it. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And this one is right through. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. A number of great games coming up this holiday weekend. Of course, we begin tomorrow. The second ever Black Friday game. The Raiders, Chiefs from Arrowhead. Even more good matchups to check out in the late afternoon window. A 4 o'clock start up in Baltimore, where it'll be the Ravens taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And lastly, on Sunday Night Football, this will be one to tune in for, as they've got a good one lined up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. It was an excellent first half from quarterback Jordan Love. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Love from the gun. Looking deep here for Dobbs. It's caught at the 10. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Going back to Love. And it's caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Now Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Tua going to throw.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Packers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
And Miami's offense set and ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 5. A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Here's Tua. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
That is caught.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Tua sets up to pass it.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment. Defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Completes it again to Dobbs. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry. From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. Love looking to throw it. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That's another Packers 1st down.
Running the toss here to Dillon. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Here's Love. And his throw here's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
To throw now, here's Love. And Love is going to slide down and pick up the 1st. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
Throwing. Love. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Love, this is third and goal. Escaping the pressure, feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. And the defense rises to the challenge. They get him down for a loss of 2, and it brings up fourth and goal.
For the Packers field goal. A 24-yard attempt.
And his kick is good.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Miami set to take over.
They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Got the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Out to the left here to Reed. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Lloyd, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Love. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Neville Gallimore powering his way in and burying him.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is taken at the 15. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Looking to pass. Tua.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down. They'll look to throw.
Open man is Fortson. He's got it.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up fourth down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
9 yards. And the Dolphins first down.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. Washington's got it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Holding. Offense.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw again.
He'll get this one to Ezekama.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Tua to throw again.
Pass complete. Ezekama with it.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
That is caught.
Fights through, and now a crease. He's still on his feet. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Here's Tua.
He'll swing this out to Mostert. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down. Tua sets up to pass it.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was overthrown.
And again, it's Tagovailoa.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To a hit, and the ball is out.
And the Packers pick it up.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Green Bay about set for another series. Here comes Romeo Doubs.
Seems like the measuring stick for...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Now a 2nd and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
Play action this time with Love. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
That's taken on the 25. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. And now this offense comes back out onto the field, and they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. In motion right here, Washington. Now Tua going to fake the jet sweep and the handoff as he'll drop to throw it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. In motion left is right. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Play action. Now it's Tua. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. Only able to gain a couple there. And it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Again, it's Dillon. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 107 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Love with a give to Dillon. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Dillon, they try the left side with him. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Holding. Offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down at the 23-yard line.
To the right side, this is Dillon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Offense.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Up the middle they go. Lloyd. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Love now. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Tua going to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
That's into the hands of Fortson.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Tua. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Looking to pass. Tua. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Tua Tagovailoa
Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The Tua going to try and throw for it.
They shakes, and now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Well, their home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Lloyd. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
So a win here for the Packers, and it was all thanks to the play of their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he really had his A game tonight. He threw a couple of touchdown passes, and he was instrumental in earning this victory.
So for Green Bay, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.